Thank you, Congressman. My name is Ben Simon. I'm the Director of Legislative Affairs for the Upstate Planning Association, and I look forward to working with you, your team, both here and in Washington, as you promote sound planning, environmental stewardship, sustainable development, and sound economic planning in years to come. So thank you very much for being here.
My pleasure.
For those of you that don't know me, again, my name is Ben Simon. I can't see anybody right now. This is a very, very bright light, so you can tell me that light came up here. What I'm here to do here today is to first introduce a good friend of planning, economic development, and local government, and our county executive, Michael Breslin. For those of you that don't know, Michael Breslin was a West Point graduate and began to embrace strategic planning from his earliest days. What he's brought to our county in the last 16 years is an immeasurable amount of success and dedication to sound planning. When he first became a county executive, he began by looking to restructure the county government and bring to that the ideas of strategic planning, business planning, and the provision of cost-effective and efficient services. During his first 2 years, he joined with John B. Anthony and Planning Associates to create an Albany County waterfront strategy to build upon the economic assets we have along the waterfronts. From most northern communities to Howell down to Queens, looking at ways to improve access, economic vitality, and job creation here in Albany County. With that, I'd like to introduce the esteemed County Executive, Michael Breslin, for introducing the resolution.
Thank you, Ben. I'm very happy to be here. And I first of all bring a proclamation. I am not officially by title a planner, but I have drawn up this proclamation on behalf of the people of Albany County to salute the American Institute of Certified Planners, and there's some 14,000 members, as well as the American and the 30,000 members of the American Planning Association, for your efforts to bring to the forefront those ideas that we need all to be aware of. And on this World Town Planning Day, we have done it in Albany County as Community Planning Day. We salute you so that you might bring to us and the general public the notions of appropriate planning so that we can be better off. And what do I mean? I think the single overriding factor in this community today is nanotechnology, just around the corner here. Through what it spins off AMD, what it will do for so many different directions, and how we can, for example, keep it here. You think about why is nanotechnology, why is Sematech here, when for the last going on 2 decades it was in Austin, Texas. Wouldn't it have been easier just to expand right there? And had the appropriate planning been done in Austin, how could it ever come up here, is my thought. We need to make sure that we do the right planning. And we have been planning with the UAlbany, with nanotechnology, and we are working. Paul spoke of roundabouts. On the very roundabout out here in the corner of Ford Road and Washington Avenue Extension. We're going to move it offline so there'll be more land for nanotechnology. We're going to have a flyover so that traffic will be able to go right straight through on Washington Avenue, and those that have to make a turn will go on the roundabout. Eliminating congestion, wasted time, consuming gasoline, and all the things that come with traffic congestion. I also know that planning comes at those moments in time when you have the opportunity, as we have with nanotechnology. In Albany County government, we had old, really bad workspace. And over the course of a number of years, we developed new workspace, and in the course of doing that, made it so we did not have to build the number of parking slots and garages that one existed, and two, many thought would be even more increased in the future. Because we joined the CDTA in a swiper program. We were the largest program for a number of years. And it worked marvelously. Not only did we get cars off the road, we eliminated the need for parking slots, and people started moving along bus lines instead of away from bus lines. Using the infrastructure that already existed. We need to be focusing on developing the assets we already have and redeveloping where you can do that. County government is essentially health, mental health, social services, serving the less fortunate. And so much of what we do is focused on getting people safe, secure, decent, affordable housing. There are no funds that come to counties to create housing. Yes, we have Medicaid, we have public assistance, we have a whole bunch of things. We don't have any straight housing. It occurred to me, though, and the people that work for me, there were so many people dependent upon the system, and they were not really making it because they couldn't find safe, decent, affordable housing. So all the public assistance, the Medicaid, other stuff we gave them, didn't allow them to get to where they should be. So we started using county dollars. And the first thing we did was identify in Albany housing along Clinton Avenue and down along the existing corridors where people lived for many, many years, where housing had been vacated but was still recoverable. We did the same thing in Waterloo and to a lesser degree in Cohoes. Those reclamation projects were dramatically less expensive than would have been new housing. It kept people where they were, along corridors, and in livable communities, livable, walkable communities. And it was through planning by members of various planning groups and our planners that these ideas bubble forth. We need to make sure that your ideas as planners get to the general public. And so today I salute you for what you have done and for bringing it to the public. And Ben, thanks again for the introduction, and I will give you the proclamation.
I'll give it to you.
I'll give it to you.
From the Radford County Student Association to receive the proclamation. During the vote, I'll take the opportunity once again to thank County Executive President for his leadership. We now have the county pushing, promoting, and supporting a regional cooperative for solid waste management. The county executive led the way for affordable housing in Albany County and has also created a GIS system going back to 1997, which allowed and promoted assistance for folks most in need to identify the jobs and then transportation assets available to them. Needs to go back and work on the budget right now. So make sure we can hear this. Before I turn this over to Ray Provost, I want to make recognition that I do have two additional proclamations. One from the county legislature who cannot be here tonight. Chairman McCoy has a county legislature meeting at 7, but would like to pass his well wishes on today, Community Planning Day in Albany County. I also have a proclamation from Ulster County Executive Michael Hine. He had asked me to read this to you. Whereas November 8th has been celebrated as World Town Planning Day every year since 1949. And whereas the New York Upstate chapter of the American Planning Association, representing nearly 900 professional planners across upstate New York, endorses World Town Planning Day as an opportunity to highlight the importance of sound planning. And whereas effective planning is essential to our quality of life, the preservation of our environment, the continued investment in infrastructure, and the economic growth in our communities. Whereas the efforts of local planners help make Ulster County such a special place to live and work. And whereas the celebration of World Town Planning Day gives us the opportunity to publicly recognize the dedication and members of the Ulster County Planning Board, our town and village and city planning boards, and other citizen planners who have contributed their time, energy, and improvement to Ulster County. Now, therefore, I, Michael P. Hine, Executive of the County of Ulster, do hereby proclaim November 8, 2010 as Community Planning Day in Ulster County. I want to thank all of our local officials, our leaders in the local state government, and our federal government for leading the charge for sound planning and helping promote planning for future years to come. With that, I'd like to introduce our great provost. Come up and say a few words.
It really is very bright up here. Thank you so much for the introduction, and it's wonderful to see the congressional delegation as well as the county delegation here. It's really my great pleasure to have you all take part in the GIS World Town Planning Day. I also want to welcome Galina to say how much we all look forward to hearing about repairing sprawl. As the provost here at the University of Albany, I get the pleasure of calling your attention to our outstanding faculty and students. Dare I say, I'm just going to brag a little here. At the University of Albany, we're very proud of the attention that we have to urban planning as well as many areas of urban and regional development that has been that part of our outstanding Department of Geography and Regional Planning. The Department Master's Program in Regional Planning began in 1982, but since the early 1990s has grown and strengthened considerably. More than 350 students have graduated with MRP degrees, and most are now working in professional planning jobs in the northeastern United States. The program's studio classes have an outstanding history of working with public and nonprofit entities committed to revitalizing our urban core and preserving the integrity of our rural and natural landscapes to promote sustainability and defend against urban-suburban sprawl. For the last 3 years, the studio classes have partnered with Arbor Hill Community in Albany to improve their open space and park planning, business revitalization, cultural development, and urban infill opportunities. Other classes have been working on developing multimodal trails to increase both intra-urban connectivity and to link up cultural and natural histories. And planning studios have also been used to inform Schoharie, the Van Branken neighborhood of Schenectady, the village of Canajoharie, the town of Fort Edward, Bennington, Vermont, the town of Colony, and Saratoga Springs, to name a few. Furthermore, the faculty of the MRP program are very active in the Erie Canalway National Heritage Corridor and play a role in assisting New York regions become part of the state or national scenic byways. Such an initiative lends greatly to the regional preservation and economic development. I'm sure I've made some excellent other examples of the work of the geography and planning groups, but let me just say that the university knows that improving lives within existing cities, villages, and hamlets is a critical strategy for making our communities vibrant and viable. With community partnership as an integral part of our mandate, we're dedicated to strengthening the role of our planning in creating livable communities and enhancing our region's entire quality of life. That's why it's great to have all of you here today, students, professionals, public leaders, and our speaker, to celebrate our accomplishments and to chart the next steps in our path forward. It's now my pleasure to join you in welcoming our speaker for the evening, who will be introduced right now.
Sure. I'm sorry, I forgot, and I'm remiss. I was so excited to be back here as a former graduate student that I've got to introduce a very important individual. We have another resolution from Rensselaer County Legislature. I'd like to introduce the Honorable Junie Breslin, County Legislator of Rensselaer County, our former President.
I promise I'm going to be extremely brief. As a graduate of this program and a certified planner, I realized how important it is to get the planning message out to everyone. And when I'm not working as a planner, I'm serving on the Rensselaer County Legislature. And because of that, I thought it was extremely important to bring the message to them. And last month in October, at our meeting on October the 12th, we also passed a resolution in support of planning and the World Town Planning. And I just wanted to say thank you. You're important, and keep doing the work you're doing.